could never have dreamed of going to the World Cup, and here it has, it's arrived.
Paul, let's take you back to the start. You get a call from Carlo. What's going through your head?
That you hope it's going to happen. Like a lot of times in football, you get a call that there's a possibility there that you could be joining a new club, a new team. And there was one period, like a year earlier, is Carlo going to be leaving Real Madrid? Brazil were interested in him. It was a possibility that they could have joined together a little bit earlier. But I suppose the stars aligned at the right time. It was time for Carlo to leave Real Madrid. Brazil were looking for a new head coach. So often what happens in football is about timing. Yeah, it was a great feeling when it actually happened.
What does the role entail? Just give us an outline of what it looks like from your perspective.
A lot of the role is about watching players, so that when it comes to squad selection, that you're picking the players that are in the best form. There's a lot of players that are from Brazil that play in the Premier League. There's over 20, and that takes a lot of time up of travelling around.
Personally, I've watched, I must say, about 150 games this season. I think I went to about 60 games live, which is a lot. And then watching here on my laptop or on the television. Watch some good games, watch some awful games. But it's an enjoyable part of the job. It's very different to what I've been used to doing, but really looking forward to getting on the grass and preparing the players now for the games.
So Paul, here we are at the Arsenal training ground ahead of the game this weekend against Senegal. How much preparation goes into these sessions? Have you got the meticulous detail in your head already of what you're going to do now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think coming into the week we have a good idea of the momentum of the week, how it's going to be in terms of our intensity. We start off by warming up on this pitch here. We're going to go over to the far side and do some tactical work, 11v11. The focus will be on some defensive concepts today, and then we're going to come back onto this pitch for a small-sided game, get some competition going, which the players love. From the moment you get up to the time you go to bed, you're planning, you're organising, you're training, you're using every moment of time that you've got in order to be able to get the ideas across to the players.
Is it very different from club football at international level with training? Is it more about tactics, patterns of play, relationships?
Absolutely. I think you've hit it spot on there, Tim. We have very limited time on the pitch. I think we have to try and maximise that by being well organised. Giving the players good stimulation, but also, most importantly, good messages to go into the game. You can't give them too much, but obviously too little, you're not preparing well for a high-level game. So we try and get that absolutely spot on.
And is it about making it enjoyable for the players as well?
No, absolutely. And I think one thing I have to say is when the Brazilian players report for the national team, you get a real sense of they love to be here. Obviously, they're representing a massive country with huge responsibility, but also you can see that they really get on with each other, and they're playing in all different parts of the world, so it must be amazing to come back together. Guys that they grew up with, guys from their own culture, same language. Must be really nice for them.
Neymar was selected for his fourth World Cup by Carlo Ancelotti, despite not playing for Brazil since 2023. He has played just a few games for Santos this season, since returning on a free transfer from Al Hilal.
Invidade, que mejoró su condición física y pensamos que él es un jugador importante, y va a ser un jugador importante en esa Copa del Mundo. Él tiene el mismo papel, la misma obligación que todos los otros.
Brazil have a history of these kind of iconic players, Neymar being right up there with the biggest Brazilian players ever. We've got great leaders in Alisson, Marquinhos, Casemiro, Danilo, who played here for Manchester City, who's now playing for Flamengo in Brazil. Igor Thiago, what a season he's had, what a season that club has had, what Brentford has had, and he's been a big part of that. Tremendous young man, very popular already within the group. Absolutely the sort of player that we think can help Brazil be successful this summer. And then right down at the youngest age, Ryan, 19 years old. Endrick, very, very exciting player. We're packed with talent for sure.
How is your Portuguese coming, and will you deliver that first coaching session that you lead in New Jersey in Portuguese?
My Portuguese is better than when I started 1 year ago. I mean, I've been dedicated, I have to say. I've had an online teacher, 3 lessons a week. When I get to the World Cup on the field, I'm going to be doing my best to coach in Portuguese. I've got my verb tables, quite difficult learning another language when you're in your 50s. So it's got to go in the bag. Go. This Quincy, #1 fan of Brazil. Casemiro.
Why Casemiro?
We get given a couple of shirts every game. Casemiro was one of the players I coached in 2013, 2014, so it's nice to be back with him again.
What's it like being on the training ground with some of these Brazilian superstars?
No, it's fantastic. I think there's always a bit of apprehension when you first come to a team about, you know, how your relationships are going to be with certain players. I have to say that this group of players is really, really outstanding. I think from the first time we came in, I was really impressed with the professionalism, the intensity. I think I had this feeling that the Brazilian players would be a little bit more flamboyant and more stylish, but actually their grit, their determination, their intensity in training is very, very impressive. It's at a high level, and when you mix that with the talent that they've got, and we've got incredible talent in all the positions, it's a great mix.
And how has Carlo adapted to life as an international manager?
I think he's adapted really well, and I think it's come at a good time for him in his career with his age and the amount of years and games he's spent consecutively. I mean, he's hardly had any time off since he was, I don't know. I mean, going back to a player, he transitioned very quickly into coaching, and he was been going from club to club, being very successful. But that takes its toll. It takes its toll on you, you know, mentally, physically. So I think it's come at a perfect time.
I've always been quite open to learning and progressing, and our coach Carlo has been amazing at that as well. I mean, he's, you know, mid to late 60s now, and something that he's done, and I've witnessed him do this, is evolve over time and keep up to date with modern training methods, the way that the game's changing tactically, bringing his own ideas, understanding what's good from the past and you shouldn't really mess with too much. I think he's someone that we all look to for guidance and leadership, and in the highest pressure moments, the highest pressure games, I don't think you'd want anyone better than him to lead you.
When you look at some of the players that have pulled on the yellow jersey for Brazil, does it create an extra pressure going into a World Cup? Is the expectation huge? Is it bigger than maybe you expected from the outside looking in?
There's no more pressure than with Brazil. The country is incredibly passionate about football. You know, 220 million people, and I think nearly everyone is a football fan. Literally, the country shuts down. I think there's a squad and a group of players that they can be very proud of and can feel very positive about getting behind in this World Cup.
It's the most historic, iconic country in world football. 5 times world champions. No one else has ever done that. Obviously, the country are searching for the 6th. We hope to be able to deliver that. We know it's going to be very, very challenging. We know that we'll be well prepared, but we also know that there's going to be some really big other countries that will provide a big test.
That is the England plane emerging from the skies. England's team has now officially arrived in Miami as they bid to end 60 years of hurt.
I'm an Englishman and I want England to do very well, but my job is to help Brazil. I actually had a text yesterday with Thomas Tuchel. You know, maybe see you in the quarter-final. Scotland, obviously looking forward to that. Steve Clark's someone I worked with when I was at Chelsea. I was youth team coach and he was Mourinho's assistant at Chelsea, so I know Steve well. I'm really looking forward to coming up against Scotland in Miami.
It looks like you're energised and relishing this challenge. You look like you've got a light on behind your eyes, and this is something that you're really looking forward to.
I'm absolutely reinvigorated, loving this challenge, very grateful for it, and I'm going to try and grasp it, you know, with both hands.
You can only do your best, and really we want to get there now. I think everyone feels like that. We've watched so many games, there's been so much preparation. Really want to get on with the job. of coaching the players, preparing for the game, being together, waiting for that first whistle to go against Morocco in New Jersey.
It would be obviously a dream to go all the way to the World Cup final in New York and lift that 6th trophy for the Brazilian national team.